Hey everyone, I'm Aria and welcome to another build video. So today I thought I would do a real-time build instead of a speed build. It was requested by one of you lovely, so I thought we would give it a go today. I am going to attempt to build a medieval inspired farmhouse. So if we just start out building some random shapes. I know I want to include a windmill that I built for a cottage living build that I did a little while ago, so I want to include that somewhere. I have it saved to my library, so that should save me a little bit of time. Okay, maybe we can have like the kitchen in here, entryway. Let's see, I kind of want it to have like a walkway over the top, but we'll delete this one a little bit later, something like that, and maybe like another room of some kind over here. Let's move that one back a little bit. It's kind of got a rough shape. So this is where I would like the windmill area to go. So I definitely want this bit here as the walkway. Maybe we can have like a room like this. Maybe we'll have like little balconies or something. Might be interesting. Maybe the same thing over here too. So I think I would do the windmill part last, since it requires a fair bit of full mod and I don't want to mess it up. So let's do some roofing. Maybe this one. Oh, so let's put that one there. Let's make it a little bit interesting, and we'll copy that. Put that one on there too. It looks nice. And then I want another one here. Okay, that looks alright. We need one on this side. This one looks a little bit more interesting too. Just give it a nice little curve, I think. Okay, and then let's add some fencing on these little balcony pieces. Maybe in this color. I really like it if we had the brass on the bottom of this swatch, but it's okay. We'll do it to the back two. And maybe we'll use this one for over here. I like that. I like that. Okay, so let's put a roof on this tower too, because I want it to match nicely. Looks a little bit unbalanced on this side, so maybe we'll add another room over on this side. A little. Ah, well, that'll do. And we can copy and paste this roof over there. Like that. Next, let's figure out the floor plan before we do anything else, so we know what we're doing. Let's start with some stairs. I want this to be the entryway, so let's figure out where the stairs are gonna go. Out there. And yeah, maybe we'll have the kitchen here, maybe some other kind of room over here, and yeah, maybe like a bathroom or something. Go upstairs. I think I'd like bedrooms, and then there's a walkway so you can get to another bedroom over there. A bathroom here, and maybe a wall here. I think if we did it there, it'd be a little bit narrow. And then we need a bathroom in here, so maybe here. We only need to put a toilet and a sink in these bathrooms, so that one's probably a little big, but this one's perfectly fine because I would like to add the bath, probably this one in front of the fireplaces, since that seems a little bit more accurate. I guess they don't really have bathrooms in like medieval times per se. They tend to just have the bath like in front of the fireplace, and to be honest, they wouldn't actually have bathrooms in like the bedroom or actually in the house. They would have an outhouse. So they would have the toilet outside, and they probably wouldn't have running water either. They'd have like a well or something, but since this is The Sims, we kind of need to make it playable. So we know that we need a just grab a random bed. So that's not going to be enough space. So let's make this bigger down here. Maybe we need something here now because that's kind of empty. I really like these in this like dark swatch, but with like the green on it, I think it's really nice. So this one or maybe this one. No, I think I'll prefer that one. So then we will need to use this roofing on maybe these top bits, and then I'll add something different on the other one just to make it look interesting. Kind of dirty, which is what I'd like. So we'll go with that one, and then add some roof trim to these pieces, which I think will look pretty cool. So we'll add some over here, maybe over here. I don't like how that looks, so let's make this a bit smaller like that. Oh, but then we're gonna have a chimney down here, so let's actually move this over here. And we'll just put like a single one there, and then let's move, and then we can kind of have like the double one there. I think that'll be okay. And then we'll figure that one out a bit later. Here, maybe we'll just do like a single one, and then we can put some roof pieces either side of it because it's going to be open over the balcony. Let's use some half walls, I think. Maybe we should pick the chimney first. I think that looks okay. Let's figure out where doors and windows are gonna go. Let's choose some. I think we'll go with these ones from Get Together, and then indoor walls. Indoor doors, sorry. Now for the kitchen area, I think I want it quite open, so maybe we'll put it on a platform. Just lift it up one. I think that would be nice. Stick some of these in, and some half walls, I think, just to close off the counter. So it's still a separate room, but it's still open to the rest of the area. Windows next. I'm gonna use some, probably a mixture of Cottage Living and Get Together. I think they work really well together. Windows done. I've pulled this room out here just so that I could have a little overlap over the bottom floor, and yeah, I've just added some of the windows in all the way around. I also moved this fireplace over just one tile so that it kind of blocks the window, but this is a bedroom, so, and it's at the back, nobody's going to see it, so it's fine. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good right now. Oh, I also added this little room here, which I do need to add a door to, for maybe like a downstairs toilet, because otherwise they have to go upstairs to just use the toilet. So I thought it would be good just to have like one downstairs, and this one I kind of had in mind for this room anyway, so they all had like an ensuite bathroom. I'm going to add quickly some fencing just so that I can delete this piece of tile here so that it is open to the bottom. Let's first of all stick some lights around so you can actually see what we're doing. They're not going to stay, but at least we can actually see. So I want to delete this room here, which actually we don't need a light in there, but I want it to be open, so actually fit really nicely in there. Then we need to delete these walls. This is actually going to be a room. Maybe one of these. Is that going to be big enough? I can always change it. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Let's add some wallpaper. I really like this one from Discover University, so let's stick this on bump out pieces. And next for the chimneys, this one maybe. I like that. It looks nice. Next will be these walls here, some Get Together ones, and maybe this one for this side. And for this bit up here, we want it to be quite nice with the patterns and things. Maybe we can use something like these. I quite like this one, so let's go with these. So the last bit is this, which I think I would like to add maybe some more stone, but not that one. So let's go with something a bit different. I quite like this one. Yeah, maybe we'll go with this one. And we need some trim around these pieces here just to finish it off. Maybe on this too. Last thing we need to do is the roof wallpaper. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks okay. Maybe we can add one of these in the middle. Around here looks a little bit plain. I'm going to have the windmill blades up here, so I think we need to do something here. Maybe a nice trim like that. And then I would like to add maybe some fencing, but I don't want there to be like a whole tile, so maybe we can find some debug fencing. It's a little bit lower than this one, so we might change it later, but for now I think that was okay. And I would like to put like an awning or something over the front door. So I think we now need some decoration to this. Maybe some columns on there would look nice. Like this. I think that looks okay. So I think I'd like to add another little detail chimney over here. Since I want this to be the kitchen, I think that makes a little bit of sense. And I need to add some wall trim to the chimneys. So I would like to add this water wheel in somewhere. I think under here would be really nice if we put maybe like some water through here. Maybe like a nice bridge over it or something. Let's do a little bit of terrain work around here and see what we can come up with. Okay, well, shape wise it looks a bit strange right now, but just bear with it. I'll change some bits later to kind of make it make sense. So let's stick our water wheel in here. I might lift that up just a little bit to about there maybe. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Next, I think we need to make some kind of functional bridge to get from one side to the other, maybe across here. Just going to use some foundation or something. Let's use maybe some thin ones, and then we'll cover it up with some kind of debug bridge that I find in here somewhere. I've decided to go with this one from Seasons. I've raised the terrain up a little bit on each end just to kind of blend it in a little bit. The river or pond is shallow enough that your Sims can actually walk through it, so I don't know whether they will even use this, but they should be able to either way. But whenever I have done things like this before, my Sims have just walked straight through the water. So I don't think it really makes any difference whether it's functional or not, but it should be. So let's work on some landscaping next. I think I quite like to use these trees. But I mean, any of these trees probably will work for what we want them for today. So let's just put a couple around and kind of just see what it looks like. Okay, I think those trees look quite nice. So next, let's go with some of these bushes. These ones or these ones. I think I prefer these ones. They're a little bit more vibrant in colour. Maybe we'll use these ones somewhere else. Okay, now I've put these everywhere that I think needs them. I've also added a willow tree out the back because I thought that it just made a nice little area out here for maybe like a fishing sign here. I have also added these bits of roofing here, like this chimney back here, just to kind of cover up this wall a little bit since there aren't any windows here. And I think we'll add some ivy to some of these plainer pieces a little bit later too. What shall we put down next? Some flowers. I quite like these. They add a little bit of color. Okay, I think that's okay for now. So let's add this hosta plant in different places, and then I will change the swatch of them when we are done placing them. So let's have a look at some of these swatches that they come in. I don't want them to clash too much with the greenery that we already have down, so I don't want it to be like the same color, for example. But some of these are actually really nice. Especially with like these ones, they're the same kind of green, but they've got different colored edges, which I think is really lovely too. Let's add some of these flower bushes too, if I can find the ones that I want. They are from, I think it's Cottage Living. They're like this, but instead of orange flowers, they've got like pink flowers on. These ones, they're kind of peachy. I might do a combination of different ones, maybe the base game blue one. Otherwise you end up with like all the same green and it just doesn't look right. To me it looks kind of fake and like plasticky, like you've used, you know, plastic plants. They're a little bit too perfect, whereas most plants in, you know, naturally aren't all the same color. They're all just slightly different from each other, so I quite like to try and use different colors if I can. Like this one, for example, it's got blue flowers on it, but the actual foliage on it is like a dark blue, which I think is really pretty. I think that looks quite nice, just a little bit of color here and there without it being too many different types of plant. And then the last thing that I would like to add are some rocks. These are my favorite ones to add, and I just put them pretty much in random places. There's no real pattern to the way that I add these. I just kind of shove them in where they look good. There we go. Kind of like a border, but just in some random places just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I tried to make sure that there was enough space that they could get round to this front door. But I think that looks okay for landscaping around the house. So let's have a look at maybe adding some ivy to the corners. I really like to use the one from Discover University. However, not all of them change color with the season. Some of them look green all year round, and then others do change to more of like a browny kind of color. So I think I'll just add these pretty much everywhere and see what they look like. Okay, I think that is all the ivy I'm going to add, and then I'll put some flowers over it as well, just to make it a little bit more interesting in certain places. I want to use the ones from Get Together. What color should I use though? Maybe the blue ones, although it looks a little bit bright, so maybe yellow is quite nice. Yeah, I think we'll stick with the yellow, and I will put these in places where I think flowers would grow. I was thinking of maybe adding some trim to this. Let's see how it looks. That's cute. I quite like that. I still feel like this here looks a little bit strange, so what if I pull these windows in? Does that look too much like a face? No, I think it looks okay. Does it actually match up with inside? Probably should have checked that. Yeah, it looks okay. So let's just adjust these. Oops. There we go. And oh, I need to fix that there. So what's that? I think it's this. So let's just pull that down a little bit. How's that? Okay. Perfect. I didn't do any of the landscaping back here, so I need to fix that. And then we've got a little gap here that we can put a little fishing sign in. There. That should work now. And then the last thing that we need to do for this pond back here is to add a couple of these spawners, which I think would look really lovely. I think that will do for now. We can always add some more later. Okay, so the next thing that I have done is just made this part of this little pond a little bit bigger. So I thought this could be where we could put our duck. Let's try and add a couple of interesting things. Where should we put the turtle? Maybe the turtle should go back here over in this corner. Maybe there. And then we can maybe get rid of that one. Just have the turtle back here because he's really cute. Work on some more landscaping around this part. Okay, so here is what I have put in for the rest of the pond area. It's probably a little bit like foliage heavy over this side, but it looks fine. That's how I wanted it, so I think I did okay there. Should I add harvestables here, or should I put them around the edge of the landscaping? I think that might look a little bit more natural without there being like an obvious farm plot, and then maybe I'll just put some harvestable trees back here. I think that would look quite nice. So let me see what I can find on the gallery. Okay, so this is a room that I found by somebody called Star Powered on the gallery. Let's add some of these trees. I think I'll just add all of what they've got, and then we'll figure out a placement for them a little bit later. I think that's probably okay. Maybe I'll bring them all forward a little bit, and then we will put the maybe the debug or live edit fence from Cottage Living with like the broken pieces, or maybe we should use this one because this has some broken pieces down here which I actually really like. I think this looks pretty good. Just a little bit of broken wall because why not? And there leaves plenty of space here for us to do some pathways and things too. I think I need to adjust these slightly. Oop, why will you not go? Thank you. Right, and then we can put a little bit of maybe some grass or something. I think would look quite nice. These little bits and pieces here. I think I want to add this foxglove plant in a little bit somewhere too. Might need to resize it slightly in places, but I think it would be nice just as like a little background plant, just to make things a little bit more interesting and colorful. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And of course we can't forget some of these mushrooms if I can find them. Where are they? Are they in bushes or flowers? Oh no, they are here. I just can't see them. So I think we'll just add these in kind of the remaining gaps, I guess. Especially where there's little gaps in the grass around the walls. I think it would be nice just to have a little bit of a break from grass and just have some little mushrooms. I think could be really lovely. And maybe over here too, just add some in random places. I'm pretty happy with how that is looking so far. It does kind of mean that this area over here is a little bit empty. I don't really know what to add there at the minute, but I'll find something a little bit later. I do actually need to add in the windmill blades, so I will grab that from my gallery quickly. So I had already saved it as a room because I used this in my very first, I believe, cottage living video, which I will link in the description for you, where I actually show you how I built this. But it's just these little planks from the debug or live edit menu, and then I've just rotated them with tool. So let's put this into position roughly where I want it. And let's go over a little bit more. About there. It's probably going to mess up all of my ivy and everything now. I think that's okay. And then we can work out a mechanism of how it looks like it's actually attached. So I need to highlight all of these and lower them all down with the tool mod like so. So let's do -1. Where does that go? Not very far. Maybe another one. Still quite high. Let's do one more. I think that looks okay. It's not gonna interfere. If we just imagine that it's actually rotating, it's not going to interfere with the little awning that we have above the door. I think that's okay. So before I deselect any of those and delete the flooring, let's add in our little attachment pieces. So what I used before was this piece from the base game, the mega wall hunk, and sized it up and kind of just plonked it down wherever I felt was about in the middle. So that needs adjusting slightly, but that's fine. So if we go back in and rotate, that looks a little bit mad. Rotate around center and then change the axis to this one. So we want to go in a negative degree. So let's just do 1 and see where that takes us. It doesn't actually look too bad. I think that's actually okay, but until we make any more adjustments, let's add in the next piece, which is the tractor tire, or the tractor wheel, sorry, from Cottage Living, if I can find it. Here it is. I love this little piece. It just has the right amount of like rust and shadow and everything on it. I really love it. It's a strange thing to love. Ever so slightly off. It's like not quite lined up properly with the middle, but that's fine. We can adjust it a little bit later. So that looks like it maybe needs to go another -1. Yeah, I think it does. I think it, I don't know, might need to just try and adjust the height of it, and then maybe, right, I think that's probably okay. And then we will select this one and pull it down by, let's do 0.05. Is that about right? It'll do. You can't tell from far away. It's fine. Yeah, that looks okay. And then we can remove the floor. And there we go. Very nice. And then if you go down a floor, it disappears. So it doesn't interfere with gameplay, which I love. So what should we do next? Oh, that doesn't actually line up properly, does it? So maybe we need to make this a little bit bigger. So instead of being 2, let's try 2.5. How's that? Better? Okay, so the last thing I think I need to do for out here before I can make a decision on this is the terrain paint. So let's try and figure out which one I want to use. So my go-to one is the Desert River Rock. I don't know whether it's a little bit samey, whether all of my builds use the same one. So let's just put this in the bottom of the river and we can adjust after that, because I really like the way that this looks on the outside. So let's do all of this and then we'll have a look. So I've added a little bit more of a shadow to the bottom using this one, this Rock Storm terrain paint, which, I mean, it's basically just like a dark brown rock, but I think it looks pretty nice for the bottom. I'm going to change the water swatch to my favorite one, which is this one right here, the Pond Scum one. It's quite dramatically different from the original base game pool water, but I think it looks the most realistic for like a pond or a river. Carrying on with some terrain paint, I've decided to go with this one just because it's nice, it's simple, and it blends in really well with the grass that's already kind of there. So I don't need to blend it out too much, but I can put it pretty much everywhere and it looks like it kind of makes sense. So that's that done. I think then I'm just going to add some shadow to some of these like landscaped pieces. I think would be nice, and then I will blend them out with maybe this lighter soil color, just so that it fades in with the grass really nicely and the pathway. Okay, so the next thing that I've done is added this mailbox from Snowy Escape. I thought it fitted in pretty seamlessly and I didn't want to add like a big bulky mailbox, and I've also put this outdoor bin or trash can out in with the rest of the plants. So what I think I will do over here maybe is just add maybe a little bit more landscaping and a picnic bench. Okay, so we placed this piece back. That shouldn't interfere with anything. It looks a little bit strange, not gonna lie. I'm not sure if I like it, but for now it will do. It's definitely an interesting thing. Add some of these mushrooms just to kind of make it look a little bit more interesting. And you can never have too many mushrooms because they just look so magical and lovely. Okay, so I think we will be done with the outside, because if I mess around with it anymore, I'm not gonna like it anymore. Still feel like it's missing something, but I don't know what. Okay, so my answer was to add more ivy. I don't really know what else to do to it, to be honest, but I am pretty pleased with how it looks so far. So I think I'm gonna leave it here for today before it starts thundering, because it's just gone very, very dark all of a sudden. But yes, we will leave it here for today. I haven't done the interior, so let me know if you would like to see part 2. If you do, then I will do part 2 probably next week. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you prefer these over speed builds? Thank you so much for watching. Also, anybody who is watching my let's play, I'm having so much fun, and I'm excited to post part 2 on Friday, so I really hope you are enjoying that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.